This thing is so cute. It's tiny. I mean, it's like average size, but it's a nice wiper blade. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LJ's Garage. It is 30 degrees in beautiful Dayton, Ohio, and trust me, if it wasn't for filming something that I love, I probably would be hibernating. So, today we've got the 2014 Toyota FJ Cruiser, one of my favorites, and if you don't understand why these are still holding such crazy value, or why people really love this, well, no worries. LJ is going to give you a little tour of the FJ Cruiser and explain why this is such an off-road amazing machine and why, you should buy one or consider owning one before you never can find one and they're like $40,000-$50,000. So if you're curious why this is such a fantastic off-road machine, don't worry, I'm going to answer that question for you today, and then we're going to take a little tour on the outside, hop on the inside, and talk about this cool water repellent interior that Toyota has. So if you like the Wrangler, if you like the 4Runner, if you like those types of vehicles, even the Land Rovers, then this might be something you've considered buying once upon a time. And if you've never ever thought about buying one of these, well, it's discontinued as of 2014. So this is the last and best year of the FJ. So to kick things off, let's talk about specs. We've got to have a great powertrain if we're going to talk about something that is an off-road machine. So this has got a 4-liter V6 that makes 260 horsepower, 271 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 time is right around 7 seconds, so it's not fast, but it's also not slow. What makes this awesome is that it's also built on the same platform as the 4Runner and the Tacoma, so essentially I would call this a truck. It's an SUV body, but it is a truck. And what makes that amazing is that you're sharing parts from all of Toyota's favorites, and this takes inspiration from the old Land Cruisers back in the day, the FJ40, and when we get on the outside and see some of those features, I'll talk a little bit about those. And because this is truck-based, if you're someone that cares about the fuel economy situation, I would suggest you buy a Prius. But if you don't want a Prius and you really want to hear these numbers, you're looking at about 15 city and about 19 highway. So, yeah. And if you do want, this does come in 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. I don't know why you'd buy one of these in 2-wheel drive, but if you did need to, they do exist. So you could get a little bit of a discount and give up that extra 2 wheels of drivetrain, whatnot. Another good thing about this is it is capable of towing 5,000 pounds, which is amazing. You're able to throw some jet skis back there. Whatever you outdoorsy, adventure types do, 5,000 pounds is plenty. And it's able to do this reliably and safe. This does have pretty good safety ratings if you also care about those. So the next thing to talk about, transmission options. You get a 6-speed manual if that's what you so choose, which is the preferred. So the manual will have the Bilstein shock, comes with 4-wheel drive, but that's full time. So it's essentially an all-wheel drive system, but we won't get into all the semantics about 4-wheel versus all-wheel, but it's full-time 4-wheel drive if you get the manual. If you get the automatic, you get the option to have a part-time 4-wheel drive system, which does have some other bells and whistles with that. If for some reason I haven't impressed you yet and you're like, I still want a Wrangler, if you're one of those types, well, this is able to drive through 27.5 inches of water. That's a lot. And it has 9.6 inches of ground clearance. That's also a lot. All right, so here we are on the outside. You'll notice that this front grille, they've got the traditional old school Toyota logo. So it just has that old font, the old school days. And then on top of that, you've got these round circular headlights, just like the Land Cruisers from back in the day. And then other than that, it's pretty much very unique. Nothing else looks like an FJ. But that's a good thing, I think. So earlier I mentioned that this has 3 wiper blades. And the reason is because this windshield is special just for the FJ. So it's a little bit shorter and wider. And so in order to cover that, and Toyota wanted to make sure that there was going to be 0 issues with visibility. So what they went ahead and they did is they added 3 wiper blades. Nice solution. If you're curious what this is supposed to be a spotlight. However, that's not really legal. So this is just kind of a little dim halogen bulb that shines light. I'm sure there's something in the aftermarket community that could make use of this and maybe toggle another switch into there and you can have nice cool spotlights, but otherwise it's just a light. As far as wheels go, you're going to have 17-inch wheels with these nice all-terrain tires. A lot of people think that these are 2 doors, but if you don't know by now you do. This is actually a 4-door, but I mean, I guess it's still a 2-door because who's going to go back here? So when you got all 4 doors open, this is what it looks like. And we'll hop in and talk about the inside a little bit more. But this seat is set for me at 5'9". If I hop in really quick, you'll see that there is plenty of leg room back here. I guess I wouldn't use the word plenty, but there's leg room. All right, so on the back end, there's not a whole lot to talk about here, but look at this little wiper blade. This thing is so cute. It's tiny. I mean, it's like average size, but it's a nice wiper blade. And then if you want to open this back door up, it swings out just like this. And we'll close this for a second, because let's say, I lost my key. Let's say that you need to put something small in here and you don't want to open up this heavy door. All you do is you take your key, turn to the right, and then your little rear window opens, and then you can hop right in. So there's not much to dive into. It's just a simple trunk area, which there's plenty of cargo space, and you'll notice that all these mats, everything is all rubberized. So Toyota does this so if anything gets wet, you're able to just, you know, wash it all off. No, that doesn't make sense. Ignore what I just said. If anything gets dirty, you're able to just wash it off, or if it gets wet, the water just repels. So that's why they do all that. If you're worried that, let's say you're parked on a hill or something like that, these doors can be pretty cumbersome. So Toyota did go ahead and they put a little lock here so you can lock this in place. So if you are on a mountain or something like that and you're out camping and you need to get in and out of this, this will stay in place. So nice little safety thing. And if you have kids, I'm sure that's a handy thing. So they're going in and out. You don't want to squish them. All right, so here we are on the inside. You'll notice that you got your traditional Toyota steering wheel from this era. You're gonna have these white gauges, and you would think that's a little strange because you don't usually often see white gauges. All these features in the year 2022, no. All these features in the year 2023 don't really need explanations. By now, if you've been in any car of this 2014 generation, you know all these buttons. But these are nice oversized knobs. I don't say that too often, but these are oversized knobs, so in case you have gloves on, you're able to toggle these as needed. Look at these giant cartoon style buttons. They're massive. So that's why Toyota did that. Down here, there's not a lot of buttons, but that's because you can put in little auxiliary switches if you so choose, but you just got your traction control off. You got your 4-wheel drive controls right there. So you've got 2 high, 4 low, 4 low, neutral. And then here's your shifter, normal stuff, cup holder, all normal. Then up here you do have 3 different little gauges. So in the middle you've got your temperature sensor, so you can see 32 degrees. On the left hand side you've got a compass, so if you are one of those Lewis and Clark types, you're able to figure out where you're going. Then you've got one of these things, which is for degrees of tilt and angles and all of that stuff for off-roading. Go with that. Special shout out to Voss Toyota over here in Beaver Creek, Ohio. If you are in the area, be sure to stop in and ask for Morgan. You've got these big weird sun visors, but then even stranger is on this left-hand side, you've got another little visor, and that's so if you're off-roading and the sun's coming in, you can just kind of move these and have extra coverage. Yeah. Something else I want to point out is this is kind of advanced for its time, but you'll see in this rearview mirror, I hit reverse and this guy pops up. It's got a little backup camera. It's pretty nice. It's not really much, but it's something. So thanks, Toyota. Up top is where you'll find your 8-track button, and then your other button is going to be for your rear locking differential. And then right here, you're gonna have crawl control. But yeah, taking a look at all of this, it's unique. It's kind of got this like square, flat dash versus kind of one of the dashes that come out and curve. So very unique in here, but a little bit underwhelming. You would think that based on the outside, this would be super fancy in here or very, you know, cool and different and futuristic, but it's really not much. It's just straight to the point. You've got these little armrests that pop down, so that makes it nice and easy. And then you got a little bit of storage right there. And here I am in the back seat, sitting comfortably. I am 5'9", and maybe a little bit more than that, but we're gonna go with 5'9", and headroom plenty, even with the hair. And it's nice back here. I mean, if you have a lot of people that you have to come in and out, it might be a little inconvenient having these weird doors. As you can see, this does have somewhat of a 60-40 split on these rear seats. Not enough to really do too much, but still enough to do a lot, if you know what I mean. And just like that, we've talked about all the features, the specs, and the things that I feel are important to know about the FJ Cruiser. I know that there's a lot of loyalists out there that know everything and anything about this car. And if I missed anything or said anything wrong, I apologize. Please let me know down below. And let me know what you guys think of the FJ Cruiser. Yeah, it still has a CD player. So if you got your CD collection, you're still able to rock out and jam out. But otherwise, driving experience, it's got some issues with blind spots. Because this doesn't have a center pillar right here where the doors are, it does have this big C pillar behind me, and you can't actually see very well outside of it. It's all for reinforcement, so if you do roll over, at least you know Toyota thought of your safety. So while you're driving, you might not have the best visibility, but it is a cool looking SUV nonetheless. It drives like anything from this era. It drives like a 4Runner, and if you like that old school analog feel, this is going to be such a pleasant experience for you. If you've driven something 2022, 2023, and you try to hop in one of these and think that, you know, you're going to love it and not miss all the tech, it all depends on who you are. For me, I love the simplicity. I love the basic, you know, analog feel. I love the way that this drives, and it makes dealing with electric gremlins on my Grand Cherokee a pain in the butt. But this is just simple, easy to work on, no problem. So these are getting to 250, 300,000 miles without any problems, and I think they're just going to continue to be on the road forever. And that's why the value and the resale, those prices are still pretty high on these. So this one is sitting at 125,000 miles, and it's in great condition, I think. But otherwise, that's all I've got for you guys. Thanks for toughing it out with me in the cold. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. It'll be a pleasure to have you on board as I head towards the 10,000 subscriber mark. It's a big deal, to me at least, and I appreciate you guys. So hit the like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much.